You guys saw Mark Cuban bought a small city, right?
Yeah.
In Texas.
What did he pay for it, by the way?
Like $4 million.
Okay, let me read that real quick, and you'll see where I'm going with this part here.
Mustang, Texas?
Yeah, something like that. He just decided to buy the city. Mark Cuban buys a small town in Texas just because. CNN story.
7.
He just bought the entire town of Mustang, Texas, a blip on the map off I-45 with a population of 21 people. The reason Cuban said a buddy needed to sell it, I don't know what if anything I will do with it. Cuban said Mustang is pretty much a 77-acre blank canvas for Cuban. The town was founded in the 1970s, and et cetera, et cetera. There's nothing really crazy about it, right, on why he bought this for $4 million. But here's what I will tell you. To argue my own point I just made, is the following. Here's what I think folks who have money ought to do. I think what would be very interesting is the following. America was kind of founded on being a country that you would come to, that you had to qualify to come here, right? You went through what? The whole the island you would go to.
Rikers.
Ellis
Island, not Rikers. I'm thinking of Rikers. Ellis
That's a
Island.
different group.
Too much mafia states of
my
America,
bad.
buddy.
Ellis.
You'd go to Ellis Island, and the first question was what? What value do you bring to us?
Yeah.
And you would say, I know how to sew. I know how to do this. I know. And they would say, okay, cool. Come on here.
Yeah.
You're bringing value to America, right? That was the right setup. And then it was what? What value do you bring? Who cares? Come on. You're a criminal? Totally fine, bro. Come on. It's okay. We welcome everybody. Its standards were dropped. It's almost like this IMG, whatever the sports program is, they pay $83,000 per
In
year.
Bradenton, Florida.
Yeah, where you go there and your kid becomes one of the
IMG
best tennis
Academy,
players.
yeah.
And they said, you know what, though? You're rich, Pat? Send your kid. It's okay. You're lowering the standard just because of money, right? That's what happened to America. It dropped its standards dramatically. What I would be very interested in is the following. Take some of these guys like who's the guy that made $5 billion on a Roth IRA, Peter Thiel. Take some of these guys who bring their money together, and they say, look, let's put $100 billion. Let's buy a small country. And the only people that can come here, you have to qualify. And the standards are so high. And in our Constitution, it states you have to only bring value to come here.
Who is John Galt?
But I think that's the direction it's coming next. If you get to the tipping point that you piss off the creators always have an option. So what I'm saying to you is, I think this whole thing of majority saying, oh my gosh, the government is so good to me. They're giving me so many free things. This is awesome. What a great noble of people. I can just stay home and kick in and just buy Ethereum and Bitcoin and make money and play video games. These guys are the greatest people I've ever seen in my life. Yeah. And they're going to say, oh, really? Really? No problem. You want to do drugs? Did you hear what Elon Musk said yesterday in an interview about drugs? Did you guys hear about this or no? Elon Musk says drugs probably make you age more. If you can go a little bit lower. Tesla Inc. Elon Musk spoke out in opposition to President Joe Biden's economic signature package, questioning the need for legislation that would support electric car adoption due to concerns government. And then he's talking, and then eventually he starts talking about drugs in this interview. So yes, we're going in this direction of, hey, you should try this, try this drug, try that drug, try this drug. I think the creators in the next 5, 10, 15 years, what Mark Cuban did with $4 million, dude, if $100 billion, people say we're buying a country, you want in? It's $10 million buying. No problem, I'm in. I'm fully in. Put $10 million, it's a minimum $10 million buying to live in this place. Let's go create. And then we go. And then we start building our own country. I think, do not be surprised if in the next 5, 10, 15 years, that takes place.
It's called Singapore, and it already exists. And it was exactly this concept.
Yeah.
And that's where everyone is, by the way. There's been more family offices open there than any other place in the world.
Metacovid.
That's your boy. Metacovid, exactly.
Bloomberg New Economy Forum is, by the way, that's the next generation of World Economic Forum. That's kind of done. It's the Bloomberg New Economy Forum. It just happened. It was in Singapore. Everybody was there. There's too many jets and not enough hangars. I mean, it's this type of thing is going on. Yeah. But
have you seen what Singapore looks like, by the way? Can you pull up Singapore?
It used to be a swamp. Okay, but this is, you're talking about something that's different from. Imagine that as a swamp to that. All because of what you're talking about. But in this era, the power is in control of data. I mean, data is what these guys want to control, like Musk. The cars are not the issue here. It's control. It's what can you grab. That's where your power comes from. But we're talking about the underclass. In America, there was no, nowadays, it's like you just walk across the border and get a social security number and you're part of the underclass. And elites love a huge underclass. It's kind of like when you go to Mexico City a nice place if you're an elite because you have a big wall around your place and you have guards and you have all these things. And it's not a nice place if you're looking for meritocracy, for a place to rise.
It's feudalism.
It's very difficult. But if you're at the top, it's nobody is going to come and get you as long as you play your cards right.
Slavery is good for the plantation owner.
Exactly. And so what you're talking about is very complicated because you have this gigantic underclass that's kind of waiting for the sweepstakes with crypto. You know, the next coin that went up to a penny is Pancake coin, you know, and everybody's like, oh, my friend had it, I should have bought it. I mean, this is distraction, and metaverse is distraction. But now you're talking about what elites are going to do, and they're not going to advertise that you can come to the compound. I mean, these guys are doing this. It's happening right now. I mean, these guys are not sitting around in Kansas City in a subdivision. I mean, it's a different life.
I will tell you, there is a way to judge somebody that's going to bring, that even is not a millionaire, not a billionaire, that's going to bring value to your town. It's very easy to decipher and process through that. It's not that complicated. What are you bringing to the table? So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.